Hey everybody, Jay the Haitian Mogul here. I am here with another video. This video is actually going to be per request. I had a meetup with a friend of mine like last weekend, and we sat down and talked for a while. And one of the things we talked about was about minimalism. Um, Something I actually had been looking into and kind of practice it till this day, and basically just gradually getting into doing it full blown. Uh, for me, it's all perspective. If it's because I can start off doing certain things that would be considered minimalist ideals, then I can do other things that might not be considered that. So I think it all depends on how you make it work for you when basically just using it in your everyday lives. Um, why minimalism? For the simple fact that it makes things simpler. Remember growing up in a household, and I had a lot of shit. I had a lot of stuff, a lot of toys, a lot of shoes, a lot of clothes, a lot of hats, and never really had a need to throw anything away. And that also goes for paperwork. Like I had a lot of paperwork, and a lot of times they just keep piling on and piling on. Every year I would just keep adding on more stuff to it, and never having a need to throw anything away. And I always felt like, well, I'm gonna look over the stuff come the summertime. Summertime came, never looked over the stuff. So they kept another year would go by, the same thing would happen. So when it came time for me to move out, I practically, when around that time, I didn't carry all that stuff with me. So instead, I brought with me the stuff that mattered to me at that time. I was about 17, 18 years old, and I moved out of my parents' house. And I had brought with me what mattered most because I moved in with a friend. So things that mattered with me at that time were my shoes, my hats, and some of my clothes. So I carried those with me, and over time, of course, I got my own place, and I started the cycle again for the most part, and didn't realize how I ain't gonna say detrimental, but basically how cluttered things could actually get over the years. And with me not really putting it into practice, being able to throw things away, I took it with me to the next location. So everywhere that I moved to, it came with me. And then, of course, it basically got worse. Now, hoarding wasn't really a show at that time. At least hoarders itself wasn't really a show at that time. So I didn't really have a name for it. I ain't going to say I was as bad as hoarders, but it got there. It kind of got close to it. I remember the last place I was at, or to the second to last place I was at, actually, in my last relationship, I had carried a lot of shit with me from moving from place to place. And not only that is that I also started creating different things and bringing more shit into the house. So I had a thing about going to yard sales. Like I like going to yard sales and finding different things that pique my interest, especially if I'm looking for something specific. So I'll do that and I'll bring it to the house. Sometimes you end up just like if you go to like anywhere like Walmart, you go to an area that you don't normally would actually go to, but because it sparks your interest, you end up finding something there, and then all of a sudden you purchase it, and now it's getting added on to what you're already doing. So that happened, and then I'm like, coming to look at some of my past videos, I'm like, I had a lot of junk. A lot of junk. Some of the stuff I could tell myself that they were important to me and I needed them and all that other stuff, but I really did not. Again, minimalism did not come in at that point. Minimalism didn't come in until I moved into this place. When I finally moved in here, and basically coming in here with almost nothing. I had a few shoes. I threw away a lot of my shoes. I had some clothes, but I lost so much weight. A lot of clothes that I had wasn't really gonna fit, so basically had to start from scratch. I had brought some of my hats, but a lot of those also I give away. So I basically had to start from scratch, and this is where some of my circumstances had basically catapulted me into the lifestyle of being a minimalist as itself. So I basically started, like I said, from nothing. So I brought my little things that I had here, but then I would add little stuff along the way, but only the necessities versus having a bunch of wants. So basically, of course, I get a TV. I needed my television. I brought my computers because that's what I do my work with. So I have my computer area. All my little work things that I do for work, I bring them and keep them with me. Or I have a table in the living room so I can eat, when I have stuff to eat. And just things that actually matter. Same thing goes with food. I don't buy just any old kind of food, especially because I remember in the past having food and having so much of it, a lot of it will go to waste. And I remember a thing my mom used to say when I was growing up was that we don't have any dogs here, meaning that you can't really waste food. You know what I mean? Because it's not just because there's no dog, but then she'd also bring to my attention, because we're Haitian, kids in Haiti don't always have as much as we do. So if you're going to throw it away, you think about that. You know, throwing away your food and that you could actually be eating, or because you're wasting food that you could actually be giving away to people that do deserve it. That there are other people out there that don't even have what you have, and you're taking advantage of it. You know what I mean? So I had to really think about that and be like, that really makes a lot of sense. And I don't want to be, I've never been the type of person to say like, well, that don't matter to me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. No, I usually get affected by hearing those types of things. It make me want to do more. It made me want to be more self-conscious or conscious about what is going on and how I am doing things and going about doing things. So after living here for a little bit, I found this film on Netflix, and it was called The Minimalist. And it basically ran down about how somebody started from having a bunch of stuff to basically condensing their life and their lifestyle, and to having only the necessities with them, and also understanding that you only need a certain amount of things to actually survive and to live a good life. So when I got rid of a lot of things that I had previously, I felt more at peace. I didn't feel so cluttered. I didn't feel as if I'm getting closed in on my own personal space. I have a lot of space. You know what I mean? And it made me appreciate that. It made me understand that it was basically how I was using my space, how I was using my area, and how I could use that to also declutter my mind, where I can only focus on things that's going to be a benefit to me. And if it's something that I'm going through that's challenging, how I can learn from it and I can make it work into a positive, so that way I can do better the next time. So like now I don't look at anything as being a bad time. It's just challenging. It's just something that I need to go through and something I need to learn from. It's an experience. And this is what me doing the minimalist thing is, as an experience. Well, some of the things that you could do if it's something that you're thinking about doing yourself as far as becoming a minimalist, just basically start off with what do you have a lot of that you don't even need. You can throw them away. You can give stuff away. For beds, I actually am ultimately wanting to purchase a bed. Right now I use an air mattress. I have no shame in saying that. It's comfortable as hell. I've been doing that for the last few months. Mostly because a lot of times for a bed that I want is going to cost me about $300. I already feel like I'm hurting for that, because that's gonna break a little bit of my bank, and I could put that money towards something else, but it'll be something for me. You know what I mean? Because I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and also to be an investment for myself. So, and it's not going to be a reoccurring expense. So I think that'll be okay as far as that goes. So I believe in, of course, for me personally, I can get up my bed, my TV, my couch, a table to eat off of, and a desk. And, of course, to put my computers and stuff on, and that'll be perfectly fine. And anything else that you would like, dressers, all that stuff. For me, if I can hang up clothes, I'll do that. I have like a little tiny dresser thing, and it's really like a little, one of those plastic drawers that you can get from like Family Dollar. I put my undergarments in it, so I don't have to have a lot of different things just to be able to live. And I keep all of my clothes in my closet. If they can't fit in my closet, then I don't need it. So then, of course, I also go through my closet and get rid of the stuff that I don't need, that I don't wear anymore, that don't fit, and all that stuff. So I go and give them away. And it's basically, of course, again, helping me get into that mind frame of not keeping the stuff with me just because I have them, just because they're mine. That it's okay to be able to throw things away, and do that every once in a while, or pretty much, or even as often as possible, just so that way you can get into the habit of doing so. And of course, you can help other people. You'll be surprised on how good it feels to get that load off your shoulder and literally get that load out your room. Okay, so I wanted to make this video basically so that you guys can get an idea about what it would take and what it would mean to become a minimalist. And again, like I said, it can be in steps. You don't have to do this full blast. A lot of people I've saw in the documentary, they did it to where their home was a minimalist type home where it was very, very small. me necessarily don't really want to get into that as far as that goes, but I do want multiple homes. I do want to be able to, of course, real estate is my goal, my first goal actually, so that way I can have those multiple properties and help other people with their homes, as well as have home for myself. So when it comes to that, I think it's all based on what you're trying to achieve, what is it you're trying to chase, and how it would bring you to your most inner peace. So let me know what you guys think about the idea of becoming a minimalist, and if you are a minimalist or have been tapping into it, what have you been doing that's been different and that's been give you a more of a eye opener, so that way you can declutter your life, and just basically how you can use that and continue using that to your benefit and help others do the same thing. And again, now it's not to be full blown. You don't have to go ahead and get the small tiny house. None of that stuff. You can always have a collection of things that you actually love and that's dear to your heart. I believe you can. And something else, the person I was talking to, our friend was telling me about, is that you can take pictures of a bunch of stuff. So if you have a lot of different paperwork or whatever, you can go the digital route. Take pictures of everything. And now with Google Photos, everything gets uploaded to there. So you don't have to keep a bunch of papers and none of that stuff. So keep that in mind. And let me know what you guys think. I actually just downloaded an app called Cam Scanner, and it basically can turn your paperwork into PDFs. So that's something you could also look into, and it's free to use. So let me know what you guys think about this video. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right?